Greetings everyone, I am Glitch and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be looking at Death Battle. It's been a while since I've seen one of their videos. I haven't reacted to them at all, but this one caught my eye just a little bit. This one is Harley Quinn versus Jinx. Now, Jinx is a character from the game and also the Netflix TV series Arcane, which is based off of League of Legends. And I don't really play League of Legends that much. I played it on my phone a little bit, and I thought it would be a good idea for me to play it while I'm on break, while I'm at work, but it just takes too long for those matches. So I decided to stray away from it. So I'm more of a Valorant type of person. But Harley Quinn, however, I know quite a bit about her. She is a character from DC Comics, and she is part of a lot of DC animations. And she has her own series called Harley Quinn, which is, I believe, exclusively on the DC app. But I also seen it a little bit on HBO Max, so I might get back into it on there. But this is an interesting matchup. I am very curious to see what these guys have to say about her. Maybe they will give me something that I don't know about Harley or even Jinx. All I know is that Jinx has an older sister named V, and that she is extremely tech savvy. She is really good at making things. Weapons, explosives, whatever. But I'm excited to see this. Let us take a look.
Harley Quinn, DC's fantabulous anti-hero.
Jinx, the loose cannon of League of Legends.
We live in a
She is a loose cannon, by the way. She has I believe, about the same mental capacity as Harley Quinn does, because Harley Quinn was mentally unstable a little bit due to some of the, I believe the domestic abuse had something to do with it, but she also got into the same vat of chemicals that Joker fell in. So there's that, the mental abuse. But what else was there about Jinx that I could actually remember? I did not get that far into Arcane. But that's pretty much it.
society that adheres to strict laws and norms. But these two ladies turn that system on its head with their wild enthusiasm for destruction and chaos.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Born to a middle-class family in the heart of Brooklyn, USA, Harleen Quinzel had long lived a life of mediocrity.
That was her real name, Harleen Quinzel. She had a PhD in psychiatry, which I'm pretty sure they're going to explain to this, but I'm going to get that out of the way. She studied psychiatry. She got a job at Arkham Asylum, and how she ended up meeting the Joker was in Arkham Asylum when he was admitted there. So there was that, and she ended up falling in love with him. And I believe that is part of a oath the doctor makes, because relationships with a patient is, I believe, against the law in that case, or else they would lose their license or something like that. I don't know. Somebody has to let me know.
She had embarrassing parents, annoying siblings,
And a high school life that sucked. Even more than, like, the normal ones.
she never quite felt like she fit in anywhere. But despite this, Harleen knew she was destined for greatness.
So, inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harleen spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City's infamous Arkham Asylum to research the most dangerous criminals on the planet, like Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker.
But after analyzing the Joker and his horrific, unspeakable history as a homicidal
I don't know if that is. I know Harley was acrobatic. She was in a roller derby in the movie Birds of Prey. I don't know if the Amazons took her in. I don't follow DC Comics that much to know about it. Poison Ivy, that was true. Harley was bisexual. Well, and there was a number of occasions where she and Ivy did hook up. She does like hyenas. She has a pet hyena. We'll totally... Yeah, that is also true with messing you up if you harm any of the above. Of Red Tool, I don't know who that is.
Clown and Jared Leto, she came to realize one truth.
The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel squashed down by an unjust society and wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch Batman.
This was the first of the Joker's many manipulations, leading Harleen to see a warped reflection of herself through him, culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching her skin via chemical vat baptism, and joining him on his life of crime, descending into love like madness and reborn as the fantastic Harley Quinn.
And yep, like I mentioned, Joker did put Harley into the same vat of chemicals as him, and I kind of laugh at her name a little bit because it took me a while to notice, but Harley Quinn is actually a female hormone, and it took me a while to see that as a pun, because I did not catch that at first, but now I did.
And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem.
Yeah, that is her arsenal there. She favors the baseball bat quite a bit.
Including her iconic hammer, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie, the most evil of all pie flavors.
When she wants to get
Not
around
really.
quickly, she can use her handy-dandy pogo stick, which she straps rockets to. That doesn't seem safe.
Speaking of unsafe, Harley's most versatile tool is her pop gun, a rotating revolver with special ammo rounds, like a boxing glove. Whoa!
Whoa, close one.
And biting confetti. Whee! And did I mention explosive rounds, which oh no.
Ah, my leg is gone. Oh no. Oh wait, there he was. I'm fine.
I'm gonna go.
Harley combines her arsenal with unparalleled gymnastic skills, making her far deadlier than your average criminal. She can even keep up with experts like Deadshot and Catwoman, even Batman at times. The peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive this alien device exploding, which obliterated multiple city blocks.
Yeah, I think that stretches the term peak human just a bit. But hey, he's the goddamn Batman, so we'll allow it.
Unfortunately for Harley, despite her unwavering loyalty to the Joker, their honeymoon period did not last. He spent years abusing her, physically and emotionally, tearing her down piece by piece.
Then, when he got bored, he strapped her to a friggin' rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's me. Bye!
Harley was left alone in...
Well, like I said, there was a lot of domestic violence in her love life with the Joker. Psychoanalysis. Yeah? That is about right.
in the wreckage, abandoned by the one person she dedicated her entire life to.
Until fellow villain Poison Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor.
I suppose a healthy relationship can sometimes feel like your own superpower in and of itself.
Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very good friends. Wink!
With Ivy at her side, Harley went on to rebuild herself as a famous anti-hero, leading teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad.
Gotham Sirens were Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. Catwoman was more of a burglar than anything.
She worked on developing new skills, built around her own strengths rather than that of her past.
Like learning to use her lifelong knowledge of psychoanalysis to manipulate her foes mid-combat.
And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even reverse-engineered her former flame's trademark Joker Venom. This deadly substance excites the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them to laugh until they suffocate.
Harley was clearly on top of the world, but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to Themyscira of all places to get a combat internship with the Amazons, just like her favoriteest superhero, Wonder Woman. And imagine going from bashing random goons in Gotham to fighting alongside immortal warrior goddesses.
She became
Okay, it turns out that was true. I'm glad I'm wrong on that, and I am actually really surprised that they took her in. Okay, there's the side note. At the time, the Amazons were being led by Granny Goodness, who was posing as the goddess Athena. Okay. Think I see the reason why they were told to bring her in.
agile enough to jump between skyscrapers and strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out of the ground with her bare hands. Based on the size of the tree and the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600 pounds, and she can hold it one-handed, so her actual strength is probably at least twice as much.
Enough to lift a full-grown brown bear and throw it like a rag doll. Hell, her skills advanced so far she was appointed a herald.
I'm actually learning a lot of stuff about this. Well, not only defeated Nightwing, she tied him to a frickin' bed.
On the War World Apocalypse. You know, the planet ruled by the living embodiment of evil? Even the actual personification of the DC editorial staff likes to call her in to help with tough jams.
As the years went on, Harley surprised literally everyone by transitioning from supervillain to superhero. She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd, who definitely needed that.
In fact,
Jason Todd was, I believe, Robin before it became Red Hood. I think he was the one that got beaten to the head with a crowbar.
the Bat family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group, teaming up with her to save Gotham from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In the end, she may be a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is such a trend, basically. And I love Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is one of my favorite DC characters.
The world of Runeterra is a wondrous fantasy land of advanced technology, arcane magics, and legendary champions.
Magic was frowned upon back then, if I remember correctly.
But on its northern shores are two cities locked in political turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite have exploited the undercity of Zon.
Okay, Powder. Kind of remember that. I did not know she worked with puppets, because that's what that is. Yeah, she uses that for making her weapons. That's kind of funny. It makes her own wanted posters.
Forcing workers into unsafe conditions and brutalizing the populace with terrifying police enforcers.
Oh, so like New Jersey. You could have just said New Jersey.
Until one day, a wild, loose cannon would literally explode onto the scene. She gave those uptight topsiders a taste of their own medicine, menacing its people with bombs, gunfire, and even more bombs. This was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed Zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will never find their way back.
Only the enforcer, Violet, could hope to stop her. But even armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each, Vi could not definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man, they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related.
They are. They're sisters.
Anyway, Jinx can burst open birds with her trusty Zapper Shock pistol, turn enemies to Swiss cheese with her Pow Pow minigun, and blow bad guys to bits with her Flame Chomper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick. Well, that seems even less safe.
Well, don't let her manic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake mountains with a punch, but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hextech, funky science powered by magic crystals. Ooh.
Including her handheld teleportation device. Oh, my bad. Is that League of Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Hold the phone. Are you talking about League of Legends over there? I love that game. I've got in more than 10,000 hours just in our college days, huh, buddy? League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game forged in the flames of LAN parties and salty gamer tears. Oh, and as
I believe there's a lot of toxic people on that game. I know I get them on Valorant every now and then. But, like I said, I don't really play League of Legends that much.
any professional will tell you, to play the game well, you need to min-max your character's loadout with the best possible items.
Yeah, and the worst mistake you can make is being new. God, it's the midterms all over again. No, Boomstick, stay in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle? Stop it, feeder.
Jinx's ideal loadouts include Phantom Dancer, so she can phase through objects after landing a blow.
I'd like to phase out of this conversation.
Then there's the Quicksilver Sash, which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison. This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do. Hey, Boom, you want to pop into a match with your old Teemo from back in the day? I can set it up right now.
How about we move on to Arcane before I ram my foot up your ass?
Aww.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. Before her infamous tomfoolery, most people around Zon knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in the Undercity, Powder had it rough. She lost her parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put
Told you.
soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass, and Powder was desperate to also prove herself to her newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when the sisters reunited years later, they couldn't fully reconcile, setting up the game of cat and mouse in the game.
Jinx was an excellent rival, able to keep up with other skilled warriors like the bullet-dodging Echo, and survive the worst of Zon's toxic environments, which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion, she was also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed-enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
But Shimmer's side effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
Inspiring her ultimate weapon, the Super Mega Death Rocket! This baby's been powered by both Hextech and its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more explosive! I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power to natural magic.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity, which can totally body these big ol' rocks.
Measuring their width with Lux's height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30 meters away.
Promotional trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's Final Spark, a much more powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From powder to gunpowder, Silco couldn't be prouder.
But her violet streak grew grim until the day she met a particularly explosive Yordle. Ziggs bonded with her over their mutual passion for destruction, but his was more tempered. control. Thanks to his wisdom, Jinx learned a little bit of restraint when it came to exploding things of a more fleshy nature.
Helping her tone down the wanton violence and recover some of her mental stability, like he's some kind of feline brand Jiminy Cricket.
And despite being on opposite sides of the bridge, Jinx and Vi remained sisters, ultimately still caring about each other in their own way, even if they were at odds more often than not.
Though you better believe that when things get boring and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Relationships are hard and confusing. A lot of us will try.
Let's just get to the action.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Who do I think would win this? I am a little bit biased. But they did say that Harley Quinn survived the rocket attack. I may be wrong, but I am leaning towards Harley Quinn. I'm leaning towards her. I mean, her agility, for one, could give her an advantage. Her acrobatics, that can be an advantage. I mean, they also said she was trained by the Amazons. The Amazons are strong warriors. Wonder Woman was an Amazon. So, I'm going to say Harley Quinn. I may be wrong about this, but I will accept if I'm wrong. Wow, this is much better graphics.
And they say these games are rigged. What?
Could have done a better job voice acting.
Screw you, you emo pigeons! I'll show you a murder! Oh, I just love exploding stuff. Heh, I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head? Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you!
Look out! She's right behind you!
Aw, thanks, pal. Ah, traitor!
See? Point blank!
You're a real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing. Stop horsing around!
That's funny.
Oh, nuts. Neat gizmo. Got any games? No! My save file! You made me run! Well, that's unfortunate.
And another ad.
Sorry about your doodad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Smells like... Take that back. I'm crazy. Don't get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill? Nah, bye.
Yep, I was wrong.
Don't just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Timbers?
This was a complicated fight with far more factors to consider than at first blush. Harley had more direct combat experience against superpowered beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive, Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that in the game.
And Jinx can take hits from a guy who can shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally acrobatic, but Jinx's hex tech and intangibility matched and outclassed that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before, so a big enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy over 13,000 tons of rock from such a distance, Lux's magic explosion would need a yield of about 20 kilotons of TNT.
And Jinx's hex tech and chem tech are similar to Lux's magic in speed and power.
Even if we scale Harley's durability to Batman surviving this massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents, like the Joker venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zaun, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention, the Quicksilver Sash could simply end any unwanted effect on her. Ultimately, Harley couldn't stand up to Jinx's physical power, superior technology, or overwhelmingly explosive arsenal.
Harley clowned around only to get her bell rung by someone out of her league.
The winner is Jinx.
Yep, I was wrong. But that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But hey, we'll see what else they came up with this. I mean, no, there's a couple I actually wanted to do, but I'm going to have to relook at what I wanted to watch. But I want it to be a battle that I know quite a bit of the characters. I mean, the only reason why I did this is because I knew quite a bit about Harley Quinn. That's one of the reasons why I did this video. But, well, I picked wrong. So, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like button. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. Comment down below any more reactions you want me to do, or email them to the email in the description box. Till then, I am Glitch. Peace.